Welcome to our new episode. My name is Akelodora. I'm a lawyer and an intellectual property specialist. So, in our last episodes, we talked about the procedures of registering copyright. And after registration, what happens is what we are going to discuss today. And I also remember telling you what you should do to prevent someone from registering your copyright. I hope you got it right. So today, we are going to talk about what next after registering your copyright. When you have already registered your copyright, of course, you will have your certificate of registration. So just like land, after registering, you get a title. So when you have a title, what can you do with your title? So what can you do with your certificate of registration, and what can you do when you're now finally the owner? First of all, the things that you can do are you can license to somebody else to use your economic rights. You can also assign to somebody else to use your economic rights, and you can also, under the will, give your right to maybe someone dear to you. So let me explain all of these things that I'm talking about. First of all, licensing. Licensing involves you giving a little bit of your work, for example, a certain right in your copyright to another person for them to use it. And it's always at a cost. They give you some money. Of course, I cannot tell you the real money that they give. It depends on what you have agreed on with the other party. So, licensing requires you to give someone a little bit of your work, like a little bit of your work, for example, a right under your economic rights, like a right for them to use your work to do something. Like, for example, where your work is a song, you can license another person to get the sound, to use it in their movie. Or you can give a license to someone to use your song in their advert. So once you have given that license, it is supposed to run for a period of time. And also it is important for you to note that there are two types of licenses. Like, for example, there is an exclusive license and non-exclusive licenses. So under exclusive licenses, it involves you giving your rights, like a right, for example, a right to use or a right to sell your work to someone. And once you have given that right to that person and a license, for them, they can use that work alone without anybody else or without you giving the same right to another person. So exclusive licenses are restrictive in nature. So the moment you have given that right to a person, you cannot give it again to another person. So, however, though it depends on what you have agreed on with the other party. So, for example, where you have given, you have a song and you have given it out to another person to use it in their advert. Under an exclusive license, you cannot give out the same song to another person to use it in the advert. So it means that it is only that one person, the first person that you have given that right to use it. So the other person cannot use it because the license will prevent you from doing that. So non-exclusive licenses, those ones, you can actually give the right in your song to be used, like, for example, in the adverts, and later on also give it to another person. So they are not restrictive in nature. So it is also important for you to note that actually for you to have a valid license, it can actually be by way of, it can be verbal, it can be in writing, it can be by way of your actions, like you have conducted yourself in a way which infers that you're licensing them to use your work. Like, for example, where you have given your song to someone to put it in their, as a soundtrack in their movie, and they have given you some money by your acts, it can be inferred that you have licensed them to use your work in their movie. So another important way that you can use your work or give your work to another person is by way of assignment. So unlike licenses, assignments are very serious. How? Once you have assigned your work to someone, you give them control over your work. So it's literally like you transferring that right to that person. So you cannot prevent them from doing anything with that work except for you when it is breaching your moral right. So once you have assigned to someone your economic rights, this is what happens. First of all, can't prevent them from doing anything with your work. Secondly, they can actually transfer your work to another person after that. So you need to be really serious when you're doing that. At the same time, under assignments, you are supposed to, have it into writing. There is no way you cannot just speak about assignment and have it done. You're supposed to have it in writing. So after you have agreed in writing, you're supposed to sign that agreement, you and the other party. So after you have signed, it is supposed to be registered with URSB, specifically the IP Directorate, the Intellectual Property Directorate. So that's where you're supposed to register your assignment from. So an assignment can also be for a limited period of time, but also it depends on what you people have agreed on. Another way you can give your rights to someone is by way of bequeathing. What do we mean by bequeathing? Bequeathing means you giving something to someone under a will. So where you're anticipating death, it's not that funny, but where you're anticipating death, you can actually transfer your economic rights in your copyright to someone you love, be it your wife, your child, your boyfriend, your husband. You can give your economic rights to them. So you should also note that wills are only effective after your death. So even before you die, they cannot enjoy those rights. So you can actually give that to them. Another important thing that you should note is that the procedure of assignment may require you to have someone to help you in the process because it's a little bit complex. Even wills, also you may need some advice from an expert. So otherwise, that's all I wanted to share with you today. So be happy if you have already registered your copyright because you can use it to get money. So by way of license, assignment, except for bequeathing because it's for free. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and please comment. We shall answer your comments.